Hello and welcome to Idea TV Midday News. I am Cynthia Bassi. We begin with the headlines. Tinubu urges digital influencers to verify before they amplify. AIHS 2025 ends in Abuja, charts new course for housing innovation in Africa. NDLEA to begin drug test for 800,000 fresh undergraduates from September. BEP launches mobile app to curb counterfeit currency. In health, striking nurses to decide on federal government offer today. In business, federal government trains 3 million exporters on AFCFTA rules of origin. Now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has called on young digital influencers across Nigeria to verify before you amplify, emphasizing the growing power and responsibility that comes with influence in the digital age. Speaking at the Progressive Digital Media Summit held at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, President Tinubu described new media as a central pillar of Nigeria's national development. He praised the creativity and ambition of young Nigerians transforming the digital space, noting that they are not just the future of the architects, but the architects of it. The president highlighted how digital platforms are shaping public discourse, enabling political participation, and creating jobs across multiple sectors. He urged influencers to uphold values such as honesty, compassion, discipline, and patriotism in their online activities. Reaffirming his administration's commitment to digital inclusion, the president announced that internet access will soon become a right, not a privilege for all Nigerians. He pointed to ongoing investment in broadband infrastructure, a national digital innovation fund, and pro-startup policies designed to support local talent. Cybersecurity, he stressed, will remain a national priority to ensure safety for all Nigerians, both online and offline. In a message on digital creators, Tinubu encouraged them to use their platforms not only for self-expression, but also to drive innovation, mentor others, promote unity, and enhance digital literacy. The president also drew inspiration from Nigeria's national women's football team, referencing their recent comeback performance as a symbol of resilience. He urged digital entrepreneurs to show similar consistency in pushing their goals. A key highlight of the summit was the unveiling of PBADversary 2.0, a digital compendium documenting the administration's achievements over the past 2 years. Moving on, the 19th edition of the Africa International Housing Show has concluded in Abuja, spotlighting innovation, collaboration, and policy as critical tools in reimagining housing across the continent. This year's theme, Reimagining Housing Through Innovation, Collaboration, and Policy, brought together government officials, private sector leaders, financiers, developers, and tech innovators, united in the mission to tackle Africa's housing deficit, currently estimated at over 28 million units in Nigeria alone. The event was hosted in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, marking a milestone in national efforts to institutionalize housing reform. One key highlight was the expected update from the National Housing Data Steering Committee, set up following last year's edition to address the absence of reliable housing data. Beyond policy, the event emphasized financing, affordable building materials, alternative construction methods, and youth participation in the housing ecosystem. The real estate regulation and access to land also featured strongly on the agenda. We spoke to some of the exhibitors who showcased groundbreaking technologies, sustainable materials, and digital platforms aimed at bridging the housing gap.
It's all about home automation and office automation to make your home or your office to be smart, intelligent, and your house. We can also schedule the lights to come on certain times. This gives you a lot of energy reduction. So we can also make your AC, your water heater, your TV all to be smart and centrally controlled. The essence of all this is to give you confidence, security, and also make the energy reduction. It's smart extension in the sense that we control individual ports. Individual sockets are remotely controlled. This is the Bluetooth version. This is network version. All these are fabricated locally. So anywhere in the world and control your farm, or you are traveling, you are gardening. You will not be afraid who is going to water your garden. This also gives you that solution. Over here is an indigenous window blind that we constructed. You can see the motto. Can you turn this on? Or smart office in Nigeria. So that's our focus. We have a lab where young engineers are trained to be able to be self-reliant and be able to be employer of labor. So these are some of the things we are doing, and we are indigenous, which means we can provide 24/7 customer care, and we understand the engineering that behind everything we do.
This block making machine can do all the block work you need on the site. This machine can produce it. For instance, it produces 3 9-inch block at the same time. It produces, if you just remove the mold and change the mold, it can produce 5 6-inch block at the same time. It can also produce interlocking blocks. You can look at this interlocking here. Look at the mold. The machine can also produce it. The machine can also produce caps. It can also produce drain covers. And then there are some things you just change the machine to produce culvert rings for you. Yes, if you have been here, you see a lot of people coming here to come and ask about it and ask the price, ask how it works. So the reception here has been very encouraging, and they are proud that it's made here in Nigeria.
My name is John Ebon. I'm the managing director of Power 4 Limited. Power 4 Limited designs, install, and maintain fire suppression systems. We have the kitchen fire suppression system that can automatically kill fire in your kitchen. And then we have the commercial fire suppression system that kills fire in commercial kitchens.
Apartment. So in case of fire, this system acts by itself without you being there. So under seconds, you are saving your building and your property.
My name is Cynthia Bassi, reporting for Idea TV.
Welcome back. Now we're moving on with the rest of the news. In a major move aimed at curbing substance abuse among young people, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Education, is set to commence mandatory drug testing for students in Nigeria's tertiary institutions. A technical working group has already been constituted to oversee the implementation of this policy, which is expected to begin in the new academic session starting as early as September. Data from the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board showed that no fewer than 800,000 candidates have been offered admission into universities and polytechnics and colleges of education for the current academic year. That number is projected to be affected by the rollout of the new testing regime. The Education Minister, Dr. Tunji Alausa, and NDLEA Chairman, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired, say drug testing is now essential for both fresh and returning students, citing growing concerns about drug-related crimes and the deteriorating health and productivity of Nigeria's youth. While the exact modalities are still being finalized, it has been confirmed that students, not the government, will bear the cost of the test, which are expected to be integrated into routine medical registration processes. The test kits, which cost around 5,000 naira, are simple and urine-based, similar in ease to pregnancy tests. Although NDLEA officials say this is not an entirely new policy, with some institutions already practicing it, this marks the first nationwide rollout. The test is expected to be conducted through campus health centers, university teaching hospitals, or NDLEA-approved facilities. Moving on, the Bank of Central African States has unveiled a new mobile application aimed at tackling currency counterfeiting across the region. Known as BEC NG 2020, the app is now available for free on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. It enables users to verify the authenticity of banknotes from the 2020 series issued by BEC. Designed for both the general public and financial professionals, the app provides detailed illustrations of key security features such as watermarks, serial numbers, tactile impressions and dynamic 3D motifs visible when notes are tilted. It also includes UV authentication guides for professionals using ultraviolet lamps, including merchants, commercial banks, and microfinance institutions. According to B, counterfeit money poses a serious threat to economic stability and public trust. The central bank is urging the public and financial operators, the first line of defense, to make active use of the app as part of ongoing efforts to protect the integrity of the region's currency. We go on a quick break. Stay tuned as we bring you more news. Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is Idea TV Midday News. Now the rest of the news continues. The ongoing strike by the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Federal Health Institution sector continues as the union meets today to consider fresh offers made by the federal government. Despite reports suggesting a suspension of the 7-day warning strike, the union has clarified that no such decision has been taken. The strike, which began on Wednesday, is still in force. Speaking on Friday, the National Public Relations Officer of the association, Omomo Tibiebie, confirmed that while executives of the union met with the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Pate, the strike was not called off. Tibiebie stated that only the union has the authority to suspend the strike, not the minister. A National Executive Council meeting is scheduled for today, Saturday, where the union will assess the government's promises and determine whether or not to suspend the industrial action. The nurses are demanding an upward review of the shift allowances, adjustment of uniform allowances, a dedicated salary structure, increased core duty allowances, mass recruitment of nurses, and the creation of a nursing department with the Federal Ministry of Health. In the meantime, hospitals across the country are under pressure. Patient care has been disrupted, with some wards shut down, others offering only skeletal services, and several patients discharged due to the shortage of nursing staff. Medical personnel still on duty continue to struggle with overwhelming patient loads. The outcome of today's meeting will determine the next phase of the action. Moving on to business news, in a significant step towards boosting Nigeria's participation in the intra-African trade, the federal government has commenced the training of 3 million exporters on the rules of origin under the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. The initiative, coordinated by the Nigerian AFCFTA Coordination Office in partnership with the World Customs Organization, is part of broader efforts to equip Nigerian businesses with the skills and knowledge needed to benefit from preferential trade access across the continent. Speaking in Abuja during a dedicated workshop for the organized private sector, SMEs, and key stakeholders, National Coordinator of the Nigerian AFCFTA Coordination Office, Mr. Olusegun Awolowo, described the rules of origin as a critical pillar of the AFCFTA. He noted that the program supports President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, especially in the areas of trade expansion, human capital development, and inclusive growth. The Nigerian Customs Service, which is facilitating the training, says it has upgraded its ICT infrastructure and established a dedicated export command to streamline the processing and movement of goods under AFCFTA. Representing the Comptroller General of Customs, Deputy Comptroller General Caroline Nyagwan, assured participants that Nigeria is well positioned to maximize the benefits of the agreement and support determined exporters. Also speaking at the event, WCO representatives Faith Matenge explained that the EU-funded WCO Origins for Africa program launched in 2022 aims to build capacity across customs and the private sector in implementing the rules of origin effectively. The training is expected to prepare Nigerian exporters to tap into wider continental markets, thereby enhancing economic growth, job creation, and the country's overall competitiveness in the AFCFTA's framework. And that is all we have for you on Idea TV Midday News. But before we go, here is a recap of the headlines. We brought to you news that President Tinubu urges digital influencers to verify before they amplify. AIHS 2025 ends in Abuja, charts new course for housing innovation in Africa. NDLEA to begin drug tests for 800,000 fresh undergraduates from September. BIC launches mobile app to curb counterfeit currency. And in health, striking nurses to decide on federal government offer today. And lastly, in business, federal government trains 3 million exporters on AFCFTA rules of origin. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms at Idea Television. I am Cynthia Bassi. Thanks for watching.